Okay, so this is really a reaction video to Garage Gym Homie's reaction to my video last week, and it's safe to say I am pissed. Yeah, I am absolutely pissed. No, it's not that bad. It really isn't that bad. This video's coming from an honest standpoint again. My opinions, yeah. And I want to preface it by saying we love Ari. You know, he's been around, like he said, for years. Like, we're like probably the only two still going, generally speaking, in terms of like this small sector, this niche sector of the industry, pre-workout reviews and YouTube stuff. You know, we've always been much more down the pre-workouts. He's done pre-workouts too, but he's spread off onto lots of different topics. So his content is relevant for a wider audience, and ours is still, unfortunately, for that niche audience. Now, there's a couple of things I'm going to say in this video that I'm just going to risk it all. I could be cancelled. You might all hate me by the end of this video, but I'm going to try and summarise why I think that way. And I did do a lot of study on sociology, why humans act and behave the way they do. And I try and always think about the wider picture as to why someone does certain things in a certain way, and for the masses as well. And this will all make sense, hopefully, at the end of this video, which I'm going to try and keep not too long. So I've got a couple of things to break down. Ari, what a legend. Agree with most of his video again. Like he said, he agrees with 90% of ours. I agree with 90% of his. Yeah. There's a couple of bits, right? One is not even just to direct it to Ari. A few people have come and said this. Industry is dead. The pre-workout industry is dead or dying. You know, I kind of referenced it's dying or dead. I still stand by that, unfortunately. Not that it's dead, but that it's dying. And Ari mentioned something in his video that was like, I'm surprised the review bros didn't know that the pre-workouts were never going to be a forever thing, and you need to adapt to survive, and hands are held up. We always knew that. Always. It's not news to us. It's not a surprise to us that this is the direction of the niche pre-workout, stim junkie pre's especially, but pre-workouts in general, and for a few reasons. You would have heard me over the years saying this. I've said it on several occasions. Pre-workouts, I can see being banned. The world is getting softer and softer. And if I was a betting man, in 20 years' time, maybe not even that long, right? But 20 years' time, I've said that reference, I would not be surprised if caffeine is banned. There we go. I've said it again. I would not be. You've seen Australia and Canada and that. The world has got tougher on everything altogether. But you've got Australia that, I can't even remember the latest. I'm sure they're only allowed 200 milligrams of caffeine in a supplement or a serving, something like that. The world is cracking down on it. So like I say, I wouldn't be surprised if stimulant pre-workouts are gone. I feel like the only thing that might survive it is energy drinks, and that's probably because of how much revenue they generate, how much tax they would pay. So there's a bit more like the whole smoking thing, the unhealthy smoking. They only keep smoking around because it pays. Let's be honest. So the energy drinks might survive to a degree. Pre-workouts, I personally feel like they're dying. Now, a couple of bits before I digress a little too much. There's pockets of success in the industry. Yeah, our pre-workout release, and some other pre-workout releases, of course. There's pockets of success. We've had a couple of store owners, a couple of brand owners message us. The industry is not dead. Now, they've got a vested interest in the industry surviving for two things I'm feeling, two branch offs to this sentence. One, they're either lying, but they're faking it till they make it, in terms of, we make all this money from pre-workout, we're successful. That's either fake or it's true. We don't know what direction it is. It's fake or it's true, of course. Or it might be somewhere in the middle, but you get the gist. They might be faking it because they need the industry to survive. It's what puts food on the table for them and their families. The other thing I was going to say is the pre-workout industry used to be like a universe, and there was pockets of galaxies all over the place. Now we're entering the time shift where those galaxies are popping and there's nowhere near as much as there once was. There just isn't, yeah? And only a couple of people said this, we might not be getting sent stuff because of X, Y, and Z. I can't even think of companies to reach out to try and get hold of their product anymore compared to before. Compared to before, it was just relentless. Pre-workout on the doorstep every other day, average. Now it's every other week, average, once. And that is not because pre-workout companies are choosing not to send us it. It's because pre-workout companies are ceasing to exist. But there's pockets of them that are. You get the gist of what I'm going here. I do think the industry is dying. And like my caffeine analogy says, in 20 years' time, I wouldn't be surprised if it's killed, full stop. That's that part. Of course, we deem our pre-workout Rect Extreme and Stay Pumped as huge successes. Massive successes. But they're not going to carry the pre-workout industry on their own. And I would never be big-headed enough to say they would. Just like Marniaco by GGH isn't going to carry the industry. It's a fantastic product. Dark Lab's honestly amazing. Is it going to carry the industry? No. There's no singular company or product that's going to carry the industry. So we always knew the pre-workouts were going to die. Yeah, he kind of alluded to the fact that we didn't know that. We knew it. We knew it. And we know that obviously our views are only going to grow so much because of pre-workouts. Because not everyone, he said it, I agree with this. The average Joe in the gym does not care, and they don't need to care. And actually, in a way, in a very roundabout way, I'm glad they don't care because they're not having to spend their money on pre-workouts and take these health risks. Yeah? If you can train hard without pre, you're onto a winner. So yeah, there's that. Now here's the cancellation thing. I'm going to get into this and hopefully it won't take too long. We're already 8 minutes in. And I've still got to be a bit careful how I word it. And this is a sociology piece. GGH said that we shouldn't be doing it for the views. We shouldn't be doing it for the money. We should be doing it for the love of helping everyone. Now, it's no surprise, it's no secret that GGH is very much God-driven. Fair play. Fair play. Like, honestly, for me, do I believe in God? To be honest with you, the truth is I don't deep it that much. I don't think about it intensely enough. I'd be honest and say I don't necessarily believe in God, but I also wouldn't be lying if I said I disbelieve in God. I'd say that I'm probably more science-driven than God-driven. Hopefully that doesn't cancel me on its own. Who knows? Maybe I'll go through because I know GGH has been through stuff. Maybe I'll find God in the future and my path will change. That's what happens to a lot of people, right? For example, people get sent to prison and they find God. Like that's not a secret line. People go through trauma, family loss, age, and they find God. Yeah? So I wouldn't say I'm an atheist. I also wouldn't say that I'm a fully fledged God believer. I just don't think about it that much. He loves helping people. And I've got to say, fantastic. And I wish I was a little bit more like that. And I do thoroughly enjoy helping people. Yeah, no doubt. Zero doubt on that. Would I say that's the primary driver of the channel? I couldn't put my hand on heart and say that it is. I don't even know what the primary driver is for the channel. Potentially money, potentially the views, those, and they are superficial things. I'm man enough to admit that in a roundabout way, because he mentioned victim mentality about algorithms and views, which I'm going to move into now, and hopefully it'll all start making sense. He kind of never actually said whether he believes in algorithm or not. He kind of said it's victim mentality to even think about that. Now, if I put an analogy out there, if everyone was only doing things for helping other people, charity shops would be full of volunteers every weekend, every day. You would have people spending all of their excess cash and sending it to charity. You would have lots of places of work, business, would not pay their staff because the staff are there to help other people primarily. They're not there for the money. They're not there for any other benefit other than helping other people. I feel like we need to be in a bit more of a realistic world and say that most people like helping other people, but it's not their be all and end all, which I think Garage Gym Homie is about. And like I say, fair play, fair play. If let's just say I saw an elderly neighbour outside struggling to get their shopping in from the car, would I help them? 100% yes. Why? There's a couple of reasons. It won't take me long. Yeah, a couple of minutes. And there's a big sociology piece coming in here. You help other people, or some people. Anything I say in this video is not about everyone. It's about the majority, sociology. People help other people to feel good for themselves. It's a selfish motive. And I'm not saying GGH is doing that, by the way. But he feels good in helping other people. If you felt nothing, would you help other people? Psychology. Like I say, if we wanted to help people, the last thing we'd be doing is a YouTube channel talking about pre-workouts or fitness stuff. Me and Craig would be in charity shops every evening, volunteering, helping charity. Yeah? We would be litter picking on the streets all night, every night, to help the community. We would be doing volunteer work in some helpful, meaningful way other than a couple of YouTube videos. The algorithm shits on your on stuff. So why do I believe the algorithm's true? So many people have commented on my last video saying that they don't see our stuff anymore. And I've had countless people over the years, particularly more recently, say they don't see my stuff on the internet anymore. The gym owner, for a start, the gym that I go to, she said, I don't see your stuff anymore. And a load of people say it. Yeah, we get that. Easily 100 people have said it to us in the last 24 months. Yeah, easy. That shits on your motivation to do this channel or to do reviews and YouTube videos and that. It's like let me just put an analogy out there. Imagine you're an artist, yeah, and you're painting your paintings, and every single time someone walks past and they lob a load of shit all over the painting, destroy the painting, kick it, smash it, whatever. The painting's destroyed. That is the algorithm shitting on our work. Are you going to keep painting the painting? Are you going to keep knowing that they're going to come along and shit on it? I don't think you are. Unless you've got like I say, you'd have to be like a very, I don't even know what I'm trying to say here. You'd have to be like absolutely. He's also saying about you need to adapt the channel. And I agree. I'm not disagreeing with that. You've got to adapt and do shorts and do this and do that. That's like asking a footballer, if football's dying, adapt, play rugby, play golf, go drive F1 cars, adapt. But you're comfortable in football, we're comfortable at pre-workout reviews. And I'm not even saying, by the way, here that it doesn't mean we're going to try some of these other avenues, but you get comfortable in what you're doing, don't you? So that's where we're at. So I enjoy helping people. Is it the primary reason of the channel? I think I'd be lying if I said it was the primary reason. It's like a secondary benefit. I don't even really know what the primary benefit of it, the primary reason is. I think now it's almost like stubbornness. We've started the channel, we've got to keep it going. What originally got us into it, we didn't see money as a thing. That's honest. I say monetary reasons. That's more now than at the beginning. We never saw this as a route to money. I don't even think we saw it as a route to free pre-workout. We actually just enjoyed it, yeah? We just enjoyed making the reviews. Over time, that becomes more laborious. It takes more time, energy. And the algorithm does shit on it. Is it victim mentality? I'd have to disagree. I'm not saying that the algorithm's the only reason. I think the pre-workout industry is dying. I think me and Craig both put our hands up and say that we're not as responsive to our audience as perhaps we should be or could be or need to be. We don't put as much energy in as we don't have as much free time as we need for the channel. There's actually loads of different reasons. But the algorithm is a killer. Go down that painting analogy again. So yeah, I disagree with those things. I mean, where do you draw the line on that victim mentality thing? If you're walking down the street and someone stabs you, are you allowed to be upset about being stabbed? If someone comes along and with an Uzi and mows down your family, are you allowed to be depressed, or is that victim mentality? Like, where do you draw the line? For us, it's a low line, don't get me wrong, it's a very low line algorithm. And that's not the only reason, though. That's not the only reason, but it has definitely destroyed the motivation. And he goes on about if only 5 people watch it and it helps touch one person's life. That's a fantastic scenario, but the chances are much slimmer, are they not? If 500 people watch it, you might be lucky and get 20 people. Of course, there's a bit of upset because now it's only been shown to 5 people. There's a lot of sociology and psychology in this. Like I say, I feel like if everyone wanted to do everything to help everyone out, everyone would be volunteers. Everyone would be like sending all their spare cash to charity now. I do enjoy helping people. Craig enjoys helping people. That's my 2 cents, my honest truth. Two true cents, guys. Please don't cancel me. And it's important to say it, we appreciate every single viewer, every single person that's interacted, every single person that's bought our pre-workout, every single person that's been a part of our journey along the way. That's not untrue. Without you, none of it would exist. But the algorithm's trying to make none of you part of it. Appreciate you watching. Let me know your true thoughts.